You said, I have a question in regards to the belief on how to defeat a Wahhabi. If you have time to answer your question, sure. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Sheikh, it's in regards to istawa ala al-arsh.
Mm.
Um, so my friend, my son's friend claims that God is established on the throne, and my son's telling him no, he's not. But we need like the evidences to show him the proof, because he
Okay.
claims that all the scholars, all the four imams said that if you don't believe that, then you're a kafir.
Subhanallah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Uh, this is a wide topic, so I'm going to give you, inshallah, a streamlined answer at first. If you want to follow up with anything that I say to you, feel free. But I'm going to give you a summarized answer. So, because this is a broad topic, and a Wahhabi is going to come at you from different ways with this topic. So he's like a karate guy. He's just swinging and kicking in different ways here. So you need to have some proofs from some different perspectives. You
That's
want
exactly right. Like even if I can have something in written, so I can like look at it after, and then I can summarize it and give it to
that's
him.
easy. Let me now share with you some files while I answer your question.
Barakallahu fi.
Amin wa fikum. So, what approach or what? Where should your proofs be here? You need to have proof from the Quran. You need to have proof from the Hadiths. You need to have proof from the documents of the scholars, and you need to have proof from the mind, intellectual evidence. Now, ideally, when you're dealing with any person, you only want to make one argument, just one argument. I can give you so many proofs, but most likely the wrong strategy is to take all the proofs and try to use all of them in one conversation. Rather, I can give you some proofs, and then what you should do is understand those proofs and understand the one you want to talk to, and then select out of there something, and you stick them with it, and you don't let them get away. And that's how you're going to be effective here. Let me really quick here upload this file for you. I'm going to send you two files. It's for everybody. This is how to debate the so-called Salafiyyah. And I'm going to give you also here, inshallah, Sunni-Wahhabi Dialogue. These two here have all the proofs you need. In fact, if you just give them either one of those, then it's end of discussion. Most likely. Give him any of these, he will not say anything to you. Insha'Allah ta'ala. That's as far as giving him something to read. But as far as talking to him, you need proofs from these ports here, these four that I just mentioned for you. Quran, Sunnah, statements of scholars, and intellectual evidence. What does Wahhabi have? Wahhabi is going to bring you ayahs from the Quran that he's misinterpreting. He's going to bring you hadiths that he's misinterpreting. And he's going to bring you statements of the scholars that not only he's misinterpreting, also perverting, cutting them off, taking them out of their context, On purpose, he knows there's two kinds of Wahhabis. There's the minion. He's a moron. And he's a parrot. And all he's doing is, in his haughtiness, he's full of hot air, and he's just talking. They have another kind of Wahhabi. This one is devious one, and he is a liar. He has a beard. He has a prostration mark on his forehead. And he's a very evil person. Oh, what the Wahhabi doesn't have, though, he doesn't have a mental proof. He has ayahs he misinterprets. He has hadiths that he misinterprets. And also weak hadiths. They're not shy to use weak hadiths. They're not shy. And he has statements from scholars that he cherry pick and take out of context and clip. And as for intellectual evidence, he has none. Instead of intellectual evidence, he has false sense of confidence. What you have from the Quran? لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. Nothing is like Allah in any way. But Wahhabi is going to say to you, yeah. So it's not easy to start there, really. But that is a proof. I'm not going to not give you this ayah because Wahhabi is not, you're not going to be able to stick them easy with this ayah. You're not going to be able to stick him real easy with this ayah because he doesn't even understand the ayah. لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. Nothing is like him. He's going to say, yeah, I know. I'm telling you, nothing's like him. He doesn't know that he doesn't understand what the words mean because he believes Allah is like something. So, لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ, the ayah from the Quran. He's going to say, yeah. So, really, it is a strong proof. If you're going to use it, you have to make him understand what it means for something to be similar to another thing. Because he literally believes that Allah is in a place and has direction and has organs and moves and touches and contacts and changes and speaks language and then turn around and say he's not like anything. His hand's not like my hands. Are your hands like a clock hands? Are your hands like an ant hands? To him, that makes sense. He thinks that means Allah is not like creations. That is exactly as likening Allah to the creations. I heard more than one Wahhabi. This is standard Wahhabi talk here. I'm not making this up. They will say to you, his hand's not like our hands. Why do you think I'm comparing him? His hands is not like my hands. Are your hands like a clock hands? So to him, the answer is no. Are your hands like an ant's hands? To him, the answer is no. And the answer is that it is similar in the meaning that has volume and is filling space and contacting and touching and moving, etc. So he doesn't even know that he really is saying God is like the creation. So if you start with Laysa kamithlihi shay, you're going to be in for a conversation. As for the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then you will stop a Wahhabi dead in his tracks with this hadith narrated by Al-Bukhari. كان الله ولم يكن شيء غيره. Allah was, and there wasn't anything else. That means there wasn't any arsh to be over. That means there wasn't any place to be in. Allah was, and there wasn't anything else. That's very explicit hadith. You can't get around the hadith. That's why it has false sense of confidence. Because as soon as you hear this hadith, really inside his heart will break. But he's so arrogant, he's going to keep looking you dead in your eye. And then he's going to say to you, don't bring those weak hadiths. I'm telling him it's not weak hadiths, authentic hadith. He's going to say to you, well, he wasn't there. Yeah, it's true. He existed and there wasn't anything else. He still was over the creation, though. You're going to tell him, don't be a moron. He's not going to be over something if it's not there. Yani, use your mind. Don't say stupid things. He has no way out of this hadith here. So if you want, you can start there. And what's he going to say to you? But Imam said, Imam so-and-so said, Imam so-and-so said, all the scholars said. Tell him, I just told you what the Prophet said, though. You don't get off the hadith. Staying on the hadith properly takes practice, because he's going to try to take you off of it. Because he doesn't want to stop arguing with you. He's not arguing with you to get to the bottom of something. He's arguing with you to make you agree with him, and or to waste your time, because you're going to keep talking. So you're going to shut him down. So this hadith is unstoppable. Unstoppable. He can't tell you all the scholars said. You say to him, it can't be that all the scholars couldn't have said that if this is what the Prophet said. It's like you're saying all the scholars are against the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Don't get off the hadith. In fact, just because this is the end of the lesson now, that's what I'll give you. And I even within that, I gave you intellectual argument, which is that it means you're going to say Allah existed without a beginning. You say to him, don't you know Allah exists without a beginning? He's going to say, yeah, of course. His face is all balled up. Of course, yeah. Say, okay. So why are you saying that Allah Ta'ala is in a direction in comparison to something else? It was always there. Then what's he going to say to you? He's going to say, listen, we don't go there. We just believe in what you tell him. So you stop saying nonsense. Don't attribute this to the religion. Now you don't have nothing to say. You don't know what to say. And you're going to say, well, all we do is we say, no, what you need to do is don't say anything here. Say the right thing. Or be silent. Right thing, that Allah exists without a place, without a direction.
Allah barak fik. That's exactly what my sons did, and exactly what you said happened. The guy kept arguing and he wouldn't stop. And he didn't want to take what my son was saying.
Yeah, so then
Especially
when
when
this
he said,
happens,
لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْءٍ. What does لَيْسَ كَمِثْلِهِ شَيْء? It's a muhkam ayah. It only has one meaning.
yeah,
Subhanallah.
yeah, but you
Barakallahu
need to
fik.
understand, if you want, yeah, okay, when you talk to a Wahhabi, or really any person though, but even a Wahhabi in particular, you need to have goal. I would suggest that your goal would be to make him agree with you, or to make him shut his mouth. If he's not going to agree with you, then make him shut his mouth. To make him shut his mouth means you cannot keep talking to him in a way that he keeps talking to you. You say something, that means, in other words, you want to say something to him that he cannot respond to. Say something to him that he has no answer for. That's why you're going to give him the hadith. Talk to a Wahhabi in this issue, start with the hadith, not the ayah. Allah was, and there wasn't anything else. That means no arsh. If he says the ayah from the Quran, Ar-Rahmanu ala al-arsh istawa, you say to him, you are misinterpreting it, because the Prophet said that Allah was, and there wasn't anything else. That means there was no arsh. Don't you know there was no arsh? Like this. So what he's going to say? He has to say, yeah, it's true, there was no arsh. And tell him then he existed without arsh. If there was no arsh means he was not over top of it. So then when he says, but you're using your mind, tell him that's right. Now you're not using your mind, now you shut your mouth. You expect me to not use my mind? Okay, wait. I need to understand something while I'm talking to you. That's how I'll deal with Wahhabi. No, not all of the people will talk to somebody like that. But I need like this. You want to make him shut his mouth. You say to him something he cannot answer. Start with this hadith. Laysa kamithlihi shay. He's going to keep talking, even though he's dead wrong. And he's not making sense. It's going to be hard to make him, to corner him. Wahhabi is like slippery fish. He's going to keep talking. And you want to be a good refuter of Wahhabis, then you make a Wahhabi shut his mouth. If you are able to make a Wahhabi shut his mouth, then means you're good at talking to Wahhabis. If you're talking to a Wahhabi and he's still talking, because that's what he's going to do, that means you're not good at it yet. Don't start with Laysa kamithlihi shay, he's going to keep talking. Start with Kana Allahu wa lam yakun shay'un ghayruh. Allah was and there wasn't anything else. You're going to make him shut his mouth in 5 minutes or less. If you stick to the hadith, he's going to try to take you off of it.
Barakallahu feek. That's good. Yes.
Ameen wa feekum.
So how do I save these files?
I don't know. So you should be able to, whatever you're using, your phone or your laptop or something, save them into downloads or something.
Inshallah. Barakallahu feek, Sheikh.
Ameen wa feekum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Eid Kareem. Barakallah.
Ameen.